So many of us have been talking about Stellar Blade because its PC port has done so good. It's already sold over 1 million copies, Shift Up saying that it's exceeding their expectations, and of course the modding scene has been on fire, but now we're hearing the director rejecting the idea of regulating adult mods by saying once the game is purchased, it belongs to the user. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, of course, this is not the mentality that most developers and directors and executives have. They truly believe that they always are the ones controlling your copy of your game, that you should not actually own it, that you're basically just licensing it from them, and they can rip that purchase away from you whenever the hell they want, which of course is not popular amongst gamers. We're seeing the same thing happening with like audiobooks now and digital downloads for books and things like that. And a lot of kind of, I guess we'll just say normies are becoming more and more aware of the fact that you're really just borrowing or renting the product from a company, even though you have to pay a full price and they claim that you own it. But now, while some of the world's more puritanical individuals have found themselves clutching their pearls over the adult mod potential of Stellar Blade's PC release, the game director, Mr. Kim, has no interest in trying to police fans' creative interests, as not only does he believe it to be a fool's errand, but he is also a strong proponent of customer ownership. Now, of course, I have been playing the Stellar Blade PC port. It runs really well, awesomely optimized. The game itself is really fantastic. And of course, I am one of the many people who have been downloading mods. I think that modding your game is so cool. I love being able to customize it the way that I want to be able to experience it, and I don't think that that should be a problem. We, of course, have seen the Access media pushing against mods, basically saying that it promotes like degeneracy and that, oh my god, Stellar Blade's PC port's only popular because of horny weebs, as they love to call us. But I think that that is a ridiculous concept because you don't have to download the mods if you do not want to experience your game in a way that someone else might want to. And ultimately, the mods affect my copy of my game, and I should be able to do what I want with my purchased content. But that's definitely not the mentality of a lot of people. Though it says Kim, who also serves as the CEO of Stellar Blade developer Shift Up, offered his thoughts on the concept of modding, especially as it pertains to even the company during a recent interview given to the South Korean video game news outlet This Is Game, amidst a larger conversation regarding the ins and outs of the game's recently released PC edition. As machine translated by ChatGPT, the director was at one point pressed by the host, the protagonist Eve is a very appealing sales point in and of herself. Because of that, she's also been subject to preconceived notions, especially overseas. I truly don't understand why some people are so fucking bothered by breasts in a video game, but one common issue with character-centric games is data modification, specifically the use of mods. What is your stance or policy regarding this? Now, even last year when the game originally launched on PS5, he had said that he was a supporter of mods. He is not somebody who's ever held a different stance, at least publicly, but it is also really good to hear him reconfirm his stance and kind of reject this idea of regulating mods. He straightforwardly asserted, "We don't have any set policy on this. In fact, data modification can range from simply increasing the game speed to completely altering the gameplay itself as long as it's not being abused. I believe mods can play a positive role by expanding the scope and experience of the game." That's one thing that I absolutely love about mods is it's like with Skyrim. I love Skyrim. I think it's a fantastic game. A lot of Bethesda games are really good, but without mods, those games would not have ever reached the heights that they have today. The reason why they're so popular is because you can mod them. For years, people had modded technical fixes and even things like fishing, mini games. I mean, these are really, really great additions, and they can expand and extend the life of a game. And I think that that is where a lot of like studios don't get it. And what I mean by that is they just don't get the fact that they can hold on to a fan base for something for years and years and years if they end up saying thank you to modders or if they try to show appreciation to modders, or if they even come out and just say, yeah, we think modding is really fucking cool and appreciate when you do it to our game. Like, they can establish, in some cases, fan bases that could span decades and decades, but a lot of them are not willing to do that, which, of course, is unfortunate. He said, so overall, I view them favorably. That said, there are cases where things approach hacking or interfere with the proper functioning of the game. In those cases, we ask the users to be mindful when applying such changes. So he's not even saying, like, you're a terrible person if you download these, just to be mindful. Further, he said, modders still need to ramp up their firepower a bit. It's still lacking at this point. I think the official content still has the upper hand. What a freaking challenge. Since we don't provide an official modding tool, it's unlikely we'll see total conversions of the game, but I'm hopeful we'll start seeing mods that subtly change the way the game is enjoyed. Of course, new outfits or monster visuals would be great, but I'd really be excited to see mods that expand the player experience in a meaningful way. And then he was pressed for his stance on adult-rated skins, with his host asking him whether nude patches should be regulated or do you view them as a matter of user choice. And standing firm, he affirmed Stellar Blade is rated for adults only, so I don't think there's a strong justification for regulating such mods, which is the stance so many of us have. If I am playing an M-rated game and I am downloading M-rated content, what is the problem with an adult who falls into that M-rated category consuming it? It shouldn't be regulated. It shouldn't be attacked. And that's why over the past couple of weeks, we've roasted video game journalists because they've been trying to say that it's awful if you download M-rated mods or NSFW mods, when really you're already consuming content that's so close to that. Why does it matter what I do with my copy of my game? He said, though, realistically, there's not even an effective way to regulate them. As you probably know, mods have never truly been under full control of the developers. What I am concerned about, though, is not so much the existence of such patches, but the idea of people profiting from them by selling them at high prices. I'd rather see people enjoying a culture of creation together, like a big party where everyone contributes, which, of course, I agree with. I usually don't see any sort of, like, mods being sold at a high price tag, but on the flip side, he's just saying that he doesn't think anybody should really be profiting off of them, that if you are going to put in the time and create something, that creation should be for everyone to enjoy, which I totally understand that mentality. I mean, obviously, he's also saying it from a developer standpoint where, hey, we need to make money off of it, but ultimately, I get what he is saying, and I think that this is honestly such a good stance to have, especially right now, where the access media is going so hard against Stellar Blade and also modders. I'm not necessarily saying he only came out and said this because of the discourse with the Western outlets, but it does seem really interesting that he's coming out and kind of reaffirming this and having this whole discussion now where he is saying that we shouldn't be regulating adult mods, and once it's purchased, it's yours. And it's just such a good stance, and this is why so many people were, willing to support them, and why this game is really doing so good. Sure, part of that is modders, but another part of that is just the fact that this game is a really high quality one, and it's really fun, and it deserves all of the success it's seeing. I mean, Stellar Blade on PC hit 1 million sales 19 times faster than on the PlayStation 5. It only took 3 days for this to happen, which is totally cool to see. We also know in total the game has sold over 3 million copies now, so I'm just happy to see them facing so much support and them actually making all of this money, because I do want them to come out with a sequel. I would love for them to continue Eve's story, and while we don't know exactly what a sequel is going to entail, I know a lot of people are going to purchase it and support it, and I'm just happy to see the PC version of this game doing so well. So yes, Stellar Blade's director has rejected the idea of regulating adult mods, saying once the game is purchased, it belongs to the user, which I and many of you totally agree with. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.